everybody, Will here, Willderjess Van Building Adventures. What we got going on today is getting our walls put in. We got, getting started on the driver's side, but we're focusing, start on the driver's side, focusing on the passenger side too. We're getting this one, which, we're gonna put our tongue and groove the same as we put up on the ceiling. In this section here, in this 4-foot gap, the inset, kind of create us a little shelf and some dimensional aspect to the wall over here, and not just make it flat. Which we got our first shelf installed and put up here, in which we got to paint it and go get our paint color matches, and excited to do that and get some cool colors. We got a great idea, and we won't reveal it to y'all just quite yet, but we'll. I think it'll look pretty good. Definitely happy with how it turned out, in which it's about a 7-inch shelf, and again, it's in there good. It worked out well. Which see, we got our 2x4 that we mounted against the wall, and then just framed it in with made this kind of a little lip shelf here. But thankfully the boards being as long as they were, with 13 feet long, it left us some excess, which I even had to cut this down too, which I guess it could have been super thankful if it would have been 4 foot to be fitting here, but you can't have everything. But what we got is these, so I just got them cut on 2-foot center, and then we'll be able to nail those in here on this wall. So it'll turn out pretty good, and we'll get it going. Alright, we're fitting to get started. So we got our 18 gauge just brad nail gun, 1.5-inch brads, and we'll start at the top of the angle here in this, where you come down the wall. Since I'm gonna start at the top, that's where you'll be able to see, which it won't take up all of it. I got 7 boards here. And there'll still be a little bit excess down here at the bottom when I get through, and I'll just put another little piece of trim down there to close that in, because you won't really see it anyway. The bed will come to about here. So we'll start and run them down the top till we run out of room, and then we'll get it knocked out. Pretty happy. It's there. Working with this tongue and groove has just been incredible. That stuff, 100 years old, straighter, more accurate, more true than wood that's, that you can hardly even buy. It's been just phenomenal. Just, you put it up, it's straight, it lines up, it clicks together. It's there. So we're definitely happy with this. We're gonna put some little shelving spots over here, make this kind of like a little nightstand right here for Jess. She tends to sleep on the driver's side. But anyway, we'll put some more little shelves back there on that part, and then we can get it going, get this wall pretty much completed, which we've started on the driver's side. Passenger side, I gotta get my rights and lefts correct today, but we see we got our runner up there, or essentially the foundation for the wall. That board 8 feet long, which I'm gonna tie into, which I'll cut some of it off up there at the front. It's in the doorway, but use it to extend some little cubby nook shelves up at the top. Back here, in which this whole piece is got about a 4.5 degree angled bevel off the back of it rather, which it's angling, in essentially, with the wall curves in from the bottom to the top. So we angled that, in which when we put it up there, it then created a true 90. Basically, it'll run. You can put a straight edge on it there and run it straight down to, which we'll be able to tie into our bed frame with, and have a solid wall. So we'll see. I haven't moved the table saw from when I cut it. So that's the angle that I put on the back of that board. It's just barely over 4 degrees. Let's see if we can zoom in on it. And so on the Ford Transit, you cut that put that 4-degree bevel on the back of a board. You can pretty much just create a true 90 on the side up there that you don't have to fight with. You run it straight down and have a flat wall. So definitely happy with that. We're definitely happy with that. Look at it. Get in here tight on this thing. Focus. What up, folks? As you can see, we've been a little busy. Since the last video, we've gotten the solar panels put on, and we've also gotten the roof and everything installed, which I made the bed frame and everything for all of that a while back, and you know, got all this essentially constructed. Didn't film too much of it, but essentially we're just some 2x4s that are notched out with simply a bed slat inset here for the bed slats. We got here made that can, you know, just run in between and tie it all together. We've tried it out and it's pretty firm. But what we got here is our wall on the driver's side, getting all this encapsulated. So we got us some lights in here, which we put the tongue and groove along the wall, which I say the piece that we made, this is the bottom part of it, and that inset, and essentially everything is attaching to it. And so, you know, we'll get everything put in, and we got our boxes and as far as shelves and cabinetry and everything that we're going to put on this side. And then we'll be able to, you know, get the passenger side hooked up. We've gotten several components made. We've built a little nook box shelf here. This is all made out of 1/4 inch off our wood plywood, and this is 1/2 inch on for the sides for the rigidity. But essentially it'll just sit in right here, and then I got a covering that'll cover all of this, and make it tied in and make it all look nice. Which will build another little shelf section up at the front there, and have that where it's functional and usable for when we're using everything up front. And then you know, proceed with the rest. And as we see, we got our top shelf section up here too, which it's all made out of 1/2 inch, and got it up there good and firm. So definitely liking where we're at. We're right for now. I just got it where it's straight wired in with the fuse panel here in the little fuse box. But you're gonna put a switch in this here for the lights that are in our bookshelf kind of nook area over here, which will also have, you know, phone charger and everything else that'll go right here. So it's looking good. Alright, we're building this cabinet wall frame insert essentially, to go into that piece, in which this is going to be the back. And so this is, so if you're looking at it from the front here, which this will be the side that caps along the 1/2 inch piece that I mounted in. And so I took the routed out a channel in here along this for the other 1/4 inch piece to inlet into, and then I took and just ripped down some scrap pieces of 2x4 and made essentially a fence along the back side of this, and tacked it to it with the old brad nailer. Where'd it go? And so now what I'm going to do is just put this piece back into the track here glue it and tack it in too, so it'll have a hard 90, so I'll be able to get it in there and have a something to work off of. Move it a long way. Yeah. 90 degrees, if you can see. Do you see? All right. We see we got the angled corner piece essentially set in. This here, which is butting or gonna butt up to the 1/2 inch piece that we made that fits the contour of the tongue and groove there. See, matching same as that back there, which this is just going to be pretty much a shelf section. And so I made this little mock-up piece here, pretty much made a 60-degree angle in which the same width as our backer piece, and it comes out. I'm gonna run it to where it's flush with this wall, so essentially we'll be able to make a lip for our shelves and to frame it this in with. So say you can sit it here, and then we'll actually, it's backwards, so this, and this, you see where we'll butt flush. We can trim a little piece on the wall, and we can put another section of shelves in here on this side. You guys check this out. Definitely proud to be standing here talking about some cabinetry and shelves and all of our components that actually go into the van and make it look cool. You know, not that it isn't cool anyway, but when you got this thing looking like a fine showroom model, then we ain't working with business now. We in business. So essentially what we got and what we're doing today is we've gotten all of our parts built to fit, and we've cut and removed and got them all laid out here. You know, and we're ready to paint and prime. We got our parts, like I say, each one tailor fit. You know, we made essentially some shelving for fit in the nooks and crannies as the van is full of. So you can say we get these things painted and have it ready to go in. And it's kind of funny, we were debating on color. We actually, our chickens helped us figure it out. We got 2 chickens at Dora and Chipmunk, and they're a little wild, but they lay some they're Americanas. They lay some pretty cool looking, kind of a blue and green colored eggs. So we kind of help them basis on our color selection. So we're ready to want to welcome everybody back and thank and appreciate everyone that's been joining us along in our van build journey. If you're new to the channel, I'm Will. Willderjess Van Build Adventures. This is our 2020 Ford Transit, dual sliding door, all-wheel drive. It's we're getting it built, and it's been a several month process. But you know, nothing that's done right doesn't, you know, Rome wasn't built today, I guess. So we'll get the Gladiator Chapel. Y'all continue to follow along, and we'll get these things built. Pull in here and y'all can see some of the components laid here, and all the little parts and coverings and panels and whatnot. And we got shelves and this whole long shelf piece that, you know, goes across the top of the wall. We got panel cover here that we can put some switches in, and just essentially it's all made out of either 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch Baltic birch hardwood plywood. So like I say, we can get all this stuff put in.